So can we talk about this big rift that's occurring in the industry right now? And it really has to do with above the line and below the line in the film industry. So for those of you who don't know, above the line are directors, producers, actors, writers, cinematographers. Those are also the 5 roles that are talked about at film school, nothing else. Meanwhile, we have below the line, so costume designers, production designers, and the like. Filmmakers, the above the line, don't understand what goes into below the lines work. They literally speak 2 different languages. They are not communicating. And that's where this rift is coming in and where this otherness is coming in. It's why we saw things like the vote for a strike back in the fall of 2021. So I learned this rift in communication between the 2 sides when I started writing my own stories and my own scripts around worlds that I wanted to design. These filmmakers literally have no idea about film design. They would tell me, they'd be, Sarah, I don't understand this. I don't know how to communicate with a designer. What does this conversation look like? What should we be talking about? How much should I be bringing to the table as the director or producer? How do I budget for this? I don't understand. Meanwhile, the designers are going, why don't they know how to talk to us? Well, film schools don't teach you about film design, and you try to find stuff online about how to have a design conversation. What does that conversation look like? What are the things that we should know about film design as a storytelling tool? There's nothing there. Like, there is nothing there. And I have read multiple articles on how to have production on no money, and none of them actually look at what the purpose of production and film design is, and costume design and the lighting design and the character design. In my course, you learn all the language you will need so that as a filmmaker, you can communicate with your design team. Or as a filmmaker, if you can't afford to hire a designer, you don't have to miss out on the tools that film design gives you and offers you as a filmmaker. There's cognitive science behind storytelling. And one of the cognitive science elements is the fact that we look at the raw data around us to give us the context for who somebody is, what's happening in the scene, and why we should know about it. In Lisa Cron's book, Wired for Story, she talks about the raw data of storytelling and how our audiences are constantly looking for whatever they can find to latch onto to better understand where the story is going. And all of that is the context we create with film design. There is no reason that as a low budget filmmaker, you can't have that. You just are missing the information that you need to be able to achieve that. And so that's what's in my course, From Text to Moving Images. You will learn how to break down the worlds of your script as they relate to the story you are telling. You will learn about the psychology and the cognitive science behind storytelling and film design and how to utilize that within your storytelling to make choices based on your narrative needs. You'll learn how to budget appropriately for costumes, production design, hair, and makeup, so you can say, what do we actually need to make this happen? So that you can go, what are our non-negotiable storytelling elements? That way you can maximize your resources and create films that truly have you standing out as a filmmaker. Because no longer is making a film gonna get you noticed. It now has to be exemplar. This is a course that will take your filmmaking to the next level because it's simply the information that you should have learned long before you started your professional career. And it's the information that film schools have been lacking in teaching. In Text to Moving Images, you get 14 hours of trainings on the psychology, on world building, along with workbooks that guide you through the process. So you never have to wonder if you've asked the right questions. Then you'll also get lifetime access to the updates as I update the information. It is a living, breathing body of information and knowledge, along with the live Q&A sessions with me twice a month to work through any sort of design, world building questions you might have, to get that feedback at those early initial stages to go, what is it we need? And how do we better tell this story? I had a student who took my course tell me that this was the most comprehensive course on film design he had ever seen as a film director. That was Albert. Brooke told me that before taking my course, she could tell you all about story, but she could never really explain how that related or translated into her visual storytelling language or the film design. And so she always felt kind of creatively blocked. But then now, after taking my course, she feels like she's able to express herself in a way that people understand. and she can communicate to filmmakers whether they are on the financial side and funding her, or if they are her collaborators coming in to help her bring her film to life. I can't recommend this course enough, neither can they, and I would love to have you there. To register for the course, visit www.sarahkogan.com and use the code CARPE DIEM to save $250. I look forward to seeing you there.